Hey everybody, my name is Sharon McDonald and I'm happy to be here with you for Golden Drop. And I'm going to reset this because I have a new setup today. And so, if I can do this, you can do this. So, there we go. Welcome to Golden Drop. I'm so happy to be here with you. And welcome everyone. I am happy to be able to share a few essential oils that are an oldie but a goodie. And I have been using essential oils for 20 years, 21 now, and off of the health food shelf and from wherever. Anybody would just give me these smelly, yummy things. And then the top companies in the world. And I am super excited that I was able to find doTERRA 7.5 years ago because it changed my world. And it really, the possibilities of what these essential oils could do in one's life were amazing to me, and especially on a mood factor. So something many of you may not know about me was that I had terrible postpartum depression 17 years ago after my baby, my third baby was born. But it didn't hit me until he was 18 months old. And that is such a critical time in a baby's life. They are starting to attach to you in a different kind of an emotional way, and they require a whole different aspect. And because my depression hit me so hard at that point, I was still there, and I'd hold them, I'd love them, and do everything for my kids, but emotionally I was withdrawn. And I've had to do some therapy with him to be able to recover that. And it's had a long-lasting effect. He's 17 years old today. He's pretty grounded. But it was a very big learning experience for me. And I was not diagnosed until I moved to Slovakia. And they diagnosed it as delayed postpartum reaction is what it was done. And so I'm here to share an experience with you that hopefully you don't have to suffer like I did. I didn't even know that I had postpartum depression. I just thought that the heart palpitations I was having, the anxiety, the constant tears every single day from December 1st until March 1st, I had floodgates of tears every day, all day long. And I don't know that there were very many days that my kids didn't see me weep. And so it was really trying, and I had major brain fog, couldn't remember things. And so I just felt super out of control. And every illness that could come my way came my way. I got it, and I was sicker than a dog. And so I was always seeing the doctor about the heart palpitations and other things. And in fact, I got to a point where when I would wake up in the morning, I could hear everything. I was awake, fully awake, and I couldn't open my eyes. Like my body wouldn't open my eyes. I had to physically open my eyes, and then I was able to keep them open, right? But it was a very unique experience, very difficult for our family. And I didn't get rid of it using anything. I physically, right? I took care of it spiritually. And so I went to a very sacred place for me in my faith. And I went there every single week and spent 2.5 hours by myself. I would have to drive my children an hour away to a friend's house who would watch my kids while I went. And so it was about a 4.5-hour deal for me to do every single week. And I did that all of March, April, May, and finally in May, I started to feel normal. And then our family got this really big gift from my husband's company to take us over to Europe. And that is where a lot of healing happened. So I'm sharing these experiences and sharing my story with you today because I wanted you to know that I struggle. And I've struggled a lot in my lifetime, which is why these essential oils are a big deal to me. And it's because they're answers to people who live very busy lives and intricate lives. And they are these little drops of miracles that can really make a big difference. And so I'm going to share with you this oldie but a goodie called Mood Matrix. Before there was an aromatherapy kit for mood, we had these 4 beautiful essential oils. Number 1 was Serenity. And what happened to me when I had, when I discovered that I had postpartum depression was, well, when I started crying and couldn't stop crying, and I just chalked it up to, oh, I'm having a nervous breakdown, which you are. And I just remember thinking I'm completely out of control. So I began to control things, right? Like the cleanliness of my home. I had a routine of how I would do that and the kind of foods I would cook my family. And so control was a big deal, and perfectionism became a chronic problem for me. Even more so than it had been. And Serenity, when I started using Serenity, it actually broke that. It's really good for you perfectionists to be able to stop. So in this matrix, I want you to draw a line down the middle of the paper and another line across. And if you're familiar with this, I'm sorry for the replay, but you're just going to draw this grid so you have 4 quadrants, okay? And they're going to go number 1, number 2, number 3, and number 4. I'm going to do that again. 4 quadrants, just draw across, and then you're going to do quadrant 1 is 1, 2, 3, 4. And Serenity goes in that top corner. So for me, it's my top left-hand corner. All right. Sorry, my battery's telling me it's low. And so in the top left-hand corner, you're gonna put this Serenity. So this helps with that need for control, a sense of lost behavior, and just a sense of overwhelm. Okay. There could be a little bit of anger involved with that, but mostly it's just this very big need to control and overwhelm. The next one that is not my favorite is Citrus Bliss. Okay, I know many of you are like, oh, what? Citrus Bliss isn't your favorite? Well, Citrus Bliss is not my favorite. I don't like the smell of vanilla, and I don't know why. I've never liked it. I love it in cooking, but not when it comes to any kind of perfume that I wear. Or any kind of a scent that I'm going to be brewing, with the exception, oddly enough, of like Christmas time. Go figure. But this beauty is literally like, a creamsicle. It is lovely, but it's lots of citrus, mandarin, tangerine, and all kinds of beautiful essential oils with an extract of vanilla. And so what this does is it raises and lifts you up and gives you hope, and helps you with this, again, overwhelm and a little bit of that anger. You can kind of get rid of this. So I'm going to teach you how to apply these after I go through each one of these. So this will be the next one. And then elevation. And I've got a funny story about elevation. So this is what's next. So this goes in quadrant 2. This goes in quadrant 1 on the top. Now we're moving down, directly down from Citrus Bliss, and it's going to be elevation. And elevation at first smell in the bottle isn't always awesome. It's got a lot of bergamot and a couple of other essential oils that are in there that are really amazing for bringing joy. And really it does. And so it doesn't smell awesome in the bottle, but once you put it with these essential oils and you put it on your skin, you will be shocked at how beautiful the bouquet comes out and works with your body's chemistry to truly lift your mood and get you kind of out of a funk. So if you're finding yourself in a funk, this may just be the key for you. So this is what you're going to use next. So that goes directly below in your quadrant. You'll have elevation right underneath Citrus Bliss. So Citrus Bliss, elevation. It'll be just like this. Boom, boom. Now, the very last one, which sits here is Serenity, then Citrus Bliss, then elevation, and down here, we're going to have balance. So balance is your next one. And so balance is literally in this matrix to help you create balance and this very zen mode of vibe. And so it's kind of, in my opinion, it's a little bit of the light. You'd think that elevation would be that, but balance for me, in my understanding of how this mood matrix goes together, it will, elevation takes care of that anger piece, But balance really just drops it to a whole nother level, helping you be able to ground, to be able to focus. It helps with the brain fog. It is absolutely beautiful in its matrix, right? So here's how you do this. I'm a big fan of not mixing these all together. Many times I've sat with Dr. Hill and listened to him teach. And one of the things that I find really important that we need to take away for the simplicity of essential oils is, yes, it'd be great to throw everything in a bottle and do its deal. But each essential oil has its own chemistry, which is what sets doTERRA apart from all other essential oils. It's really based in chemistry. And no body is the same. So your body isn't the same as mine. Our chemistries are different. So what these little bottles of joy do is they work really well one-on-one. Not that they're not great in blends, because we have a lot of blends, but I want to just share with you that this is what I have found. If you just take the drops, right, rub it on the back of your neck. I love for mood specifically going along the neck, up behind the ears, because it helps you really start to ground. Rub your hands together, breathe it in, and go to the next one, Citrus Bliss, because now that chemistry from Serenity is in me, right? And now I'm going to add this, rub it on the back of my neck, up behind my ears, breathe it in, and now it's going to mix with that aroma. Next, I'm going to do Elevation, same exact scenario. I'm going to drop a few drops in my hand, okay, rub it together, rub it behind my ears, my neck, right up into the cranium, where the cranium and the spinal cord come together, that soft spot. Rub my hands together again, breathe it in, and it takes on a whole new aroma. I mean, it's amazing. So now we're going to go to balance, okay? So we're going to put balance in there, and this is so oxygenating to the body. It's got frankincense in it. Rub it on the back of your neck, in your ears, right there. Oh, rub it together and breathe it in, and you have a whole new aroma. And you guys, the energy that it brings is so incredible. And so I really wanted to teach this because the balance was the essential oil that was next on my list. Last week we talked about Arbor Vitae. This week I wanted to talk about the blend of balance because it's such a powerful tool to be able to do that. And as I was researching balance, I thought, you know what? We have gone away from teaching about mood matrix. And there's lots of things we can do for mood management, but this is a really unique tool. So don't forget about it. Go visit it again. And just remember the beauty of using essential oils to oxygenate the body will help you really help your body start to look at this. It's so powerful. See how blue my veins are getting? It's just so powerful to watch how quick these essential oils work. 30 seconds in the body, 20 minutes every single cell in the body, and totally working with your chemistry. So that's what I have to visit with you today about. Thank you so much for joining us. I would love to open it up for comments, for questions. What do we have? Anybody have anything? Renee?
I don't see any hands raised or questions.
Anybody, if you have something you want to share, unmute yourself. If you've got an experience using the matrix, ooh, I'd love to hear from you.
Sharon, can you just repeat the order that you use the oils? I'm driving, so I'm just trying to like get a mental note.
You bet, you bet. So Serenity is the very first one.
Okay.
And then next is Citrus Bliss. I'm trying to make sure I have them in order because I just laid them down. Citrus Bliss is next. Then Elevation.
Okay.
Okay. Elevation. And then we have Balance, which is very last. Good.
Thank you.
And then you're welcome. So happy. So happy. So I wish I would have had these tools when I was in my lull. It took me several years to get the brain fog to go away. Probably about 4 years. Just in time for me to get pregnant with Ezra. But I took it. That's why there's a 5-year gap for us. We have flock A and flock B because I was not going to have another baby and go through that again. So anybody who's been there knows what I'm talking about. It's rough.
So Sharon, just out of curiosity, I am not a fan of Elevate. So
yeah, Elevate is a rough go, but you should try it on and see what it's like, because I did this with Isaiah. I used to use this with Isaiah all the time. In fact, he uses this on his mission now because it really helps him with the anxiousness that he gets. And he's such a perfectionist, right? So I'm like, you got to live on serenity and elevation, buddy, because he just has these expectations of himself and other people. So I put it on him, Renee, and because I literally was about ready to hang him up from his toenails and leave him for the birds to peck out in the backyard. And I was that angry. And so I put it on him and I said, this is for you, but it's a protection against me, because like if I touch you, I'm going to hurt you. And because he was just being mean to his siblings, and all of a sudden I'm walking around the house and I smell this smell and I'm like, what's that smell like? It's incredible. Like I couldn't figure it out. And so I'm following the smell, and guess where I go? I go to his bedroom, and I remembered I put that on, and sure enough, I smelled his neck, and this gorgeous aroma from his neck came. And every time he would put on Elevation, sometimes that was the only oil he'd put on, it would just smell incredible. So I started using it because it was not my favorite out of the bottle. So I started doing it, and sure enough, it smelled like this glorious perfume, and really good for opening the heart chakra when you're angry and you're really grouchy. It's a really good one. And remember, this has bergamot in it. I didn't really go away. I've got a battery telling you that. But it's got bergamot in it, so put it where the sun doesn't shine if you're going to be out in the sun. Unless you have 12 hours, like if you want to bathe in it, just give yourself 12 hours to sleep and be in a cool, dark place. But put it where the sun doesn't shine. So over my heart really helps me when I'm like gonna fight fire with my eyeballs and claws for my fingernails. So give it a go, Renee, and report back to us.
I will, because when I did the BBT training, you did your affirmations, and then you had to pick an oil that you're not really connected to, and I picked that one, and but I forgot to go back to it. So I'll have to do a round 2 again. Yeah,
try it. It's really a great essential oil, and it's not something you think of. I actually used it for deodorant for the whole year I was going through, 18 months. I use it for deodorant every day with my rock salt. It was amazing. Crazy. Well, you guys, thank you so much for being here with us. We appreciate you. We love your tips and your tricks. If you want to co-host with me, go right ahead. Write in and let me know, and I'll be your host, and you can be that co-host and share a tip or a trick, because you guys are using things in your house that you have no idea that is going to be a rock star moment for someone else. So please get a hold of me. You don't have to be on my team to be on here. I would love to host you. So please come and join us. Send us an email at info@oils2go, and in the subject line, just put Golden Drop, and we will co-host with you. We'll be thrilled. So thank you so much for joining us. Paying it forward, I'm telling you guys, just use your oils and share it with other people. You open those bottles and get them on other people, and you will see a glorious difference in the way that you connect with other people. And it's interesting, when you share a drop of essential oil with another person, the void that it fills for them. People walk around all the time totally destroyed in their loneliness and feeling like they're the only ones going through their problems. And so when we create community using these essential oils to be able to draw people in and heal themselves and reconnect in a totally different way with their family than they ever have done, maybe, or enhance what they're already doing at home, it makes a big difference. It makes a huge difference. So pay it forward. And while you're doing that, pay back your own wallet by purchasing your essential oils through the loyalty reward program that you have an option to do. Because guess what? That loyalty reward program is going to pay you back 10 to 30% back into your own pocket with rebate points to purchase other products for free. So I love to pay back my income by loving these oils and using them and buying them through my loyalty program. So thank you so much, you guys. Have a great day, and we'll see you next time.